The Indomitable had been a museum piece for 300 years. Children pressed their faces against viewing ports to see the bridge where Admiral Chen had commanded humanity's first interstellar fleet. History students wrote papers about its revolutionary railgun batteries. Tourists bought miniature replicas in the gift shop. No one expected it to fly again. The Kryn Dominion made that expectation irrelevant. They arrived during humanity's Cultural Heritage Day, ironic, considering they immediately began destroying cultural heritage sites. Their demands were simple: surrender or be eradicated. Their fleet of 400 warships made negotiations seem pointless. The modern United Earth fleet engaged them at the Mars defense perimeter. Sleek, efficient vessels with quantum shielding and plasma torpedoes, the pinnacle of contemporary warfare. They lasted 11 minutes. In the Emergency Command Center, Fleet Admiral Torres stared at the tactical display with the horror of someone watching civilization end in real time. "We have nothing left," her tactical officer reported. "Reserve fleets are 3 days out. Earth's planetary defenses will hold for maybe 6 hours. What about the orbital yards? Are there any ships still under construction?" "Nothing combat ready, ma'am. The only intact vessel in Earth orbit is," he paused. "The Indomitable." Torres laughed bitterly. "The museum ship? That thing is 3 centuries old. It probably can't even generate thrust." "Actually, ma'am," her chief engineer interrupted, "the Heritage Committee maintains it in full operational condition. Part of the preservation charter. They run the reactor every month, cycle the weapons systems, the whole." "Are you seriously suggesting we fight a modern fleet with a floating antique?" The engineer shrugged helplessly. "It's the only ship we have." 20 minutes later, Torres stood on the Indomitable's bridge. Everything was analog: physical switches, mechanical readouts, actual throttle controls. The combat computers ran on systems that museums elsewhere had replaced with interactive holos. "This is insane," she muttered. Controls. The combat computers ran on systems that museums elsewhere had replaced with interactive holos. "This is insane," she muttered. "Fleet Admiral on deck." A voice cracked over the ancient intercom. The skeleton crew, pulled from the Heritage Committee, the Naval Academy, even retirement homes, stood at attention. Torres recognized the man approaching. Admiral Chen's great-grandson, 70 years old, wearing a uniform from another era. "Reactors hot," Chen said. "Railguns are charged. Point defense grid is online." "She's ready, Admiral." "Ready to die, you mean?" "Maybe," Chen smiled. "But she'll die fighting. That's what dreadnoughts do." The Indomitable broke orbit with none of the grace of modern vessels. She was a brute, angular, armored, built when humanity's solution to every problem was, add more mass and more guns. The Kryn fleet detected her immediately. "Unknown vessel approaching. Identify yourself." Torres took a breath. "This is United Earth Ship Indomitable, BCN-01. You are in violation of Earth space. Leave now or be engaged." The Kryn commander's laughter echoed across channels. "You send a primitive relic against us? Your desperation is—" Chen cut him off by firing. The Indomitable's main railguns were chemically accelerated kinetic weapons, obsolete technology that modern shields were never designed to stop because no one used them anymore. 30-ton tungsten projectiles moving at 3% light speed. The first salvo punched through 3 Kryn destroyers like they were paper. "All batteries, continuous fire," Torres ordered. What followed wasn't elegant warfare. The Indomitable couldn't dodge, she was too massive. She couldn't outrun missiles, she was too slow. So she did what dreadnoughts were designed to do, she tanked the damage and hit back harder. Plasma torpedoes splashed against armor plating 3 meters thick. Energy beams scored her hull but couldn't penetrate. The Kryn threw everything at her, and the old warship shrugged it off, her railguns speaking in a language of violence that transcended technological eras. Their shields can't stop kinetic weapons. Chen shouted over the roar of the batteries. They've never needed to. The Kryn adapted quickly, focusing fire, trying to overwhelm even the Indomitable's legendary armor. Torres watched hull integrity dropping, 70%, 60, 50. Ma'am, reserve fleets are emerging from FTL. On the display, 200 modern Earth vessels dropped into normal space, weapons hot. But it was the Indomitable they rallied behind, the ancient Dreadnought, burning and battered but still firing, still fighting. The Kryn broke. 3 hours later, the Indomitable limped back to dock, her hull scarred, her railguns overheated, her crew exhausted. Museum piece, huh? Chen said, patting a bulkhead affectionately. Torres shook her head. Not anymore. She's going back on active duty. The Indomitable's reactor hummed in agreement. Some things are too valuable to be just history.